How is everybody tonight? Hope you're well. This guy's being a complete idiot. There we go. Sit there. Are you good, Tedward? So there you have it. From the mouth of Tedward. This is my friend I brought back from Galaxy's Edge. And yes, I have named him Tedward. So, there. All right. How is everybody today? It's finally time to talk about the finale of Lord X, Season 10. We're at the finale already. Old Friends and New Planets is what this one's called. And, yeah. So how is everybody? Hope you all are well. Oh, for Christ's sakes, Dot. Hold on one second. I gotta just fix something here. Hey, Dot, get off of that. Idiots. Dogs are idiots. Isn't that right, Tedward? Yeah, that's right. Anyway, hi guys. Captain Foley back with you again today. And what are you guys talking about? Let's see. Joseph Barbato, fantastic episode. I would agree. Yes. John Walker, kind of wasted plot potential in my opinion, but not a bad episode. Hello all. Hello, John Walker. What do you mean by wasted plot potential? Let us know. Eric Martin, who's the funny looking guy with the glasses? Aha ha ha. Aha. Isn't Eric Martin funny? Yeah, that's about right. He's that funny. Yeah. Anyway. Don Ranger Power. How's it going? Kyle Swinderman, an evening mini Wrath of Khan episode. Where's your Monster Maroon, Captain? Well, I don't have a Monster Maroon. I've got the bomber jacket, but that's downstairs. Why would I wear that? BJ Tehran, $2. Who puts a paywall on a bomb? The Ferengi. That's who, because it's funny. Seriously? Hold on a second. All right. Move. You guys are massive pains in the asses. Lay down. Okay, stop. There. You're falling off. Tedward, sit up there. Like a good little lizard monkey. Yeah, you heard me, lizard monkey. Anyway, finally all our theories were proven wrong. Ha ha ha. Sure, yeah. They gotta love it when we theorize, though. Like, they can't help but not love that, you know? Trying to guess what they're thinking. BJ, I can ask you to come with me, but as I'm taking the ship, I guess you have much choice. Buckle up. Joseph Meditz. Hey, Captain, some might say you look like a private investigator guy, but I don't see it. Okay, yeah, you shouldn't see it. It's fine. Nice to see the Steam Runner in a major way. It's one of my favorite ships. Really? Ew. Steam Runner's nasty. Not a big Steam Runner fan. It's an all right kind of support ship, but honestly, I don't really think that it is a good ship at all. So, but that's just me. I could be wrong. Or not. All right, listen, you're really pissing me off here. You and the dogs are both being pains in the asses tonight. Sit there. There. Better now? Good episode, but it all feels a bit rushed. I don't think it felt rushed, really. Dropping shit. They apparently found the 11-foot model. It's not the 11-foot, it's the 3-foot model. One that was on Roddenberry's desk, and a lot of the publicity shots with Shatner and Leonard Nimoy holding it are it's in those, and it also was used in an episode or two. It's the one on the table in one episode, but yes, it's a 3-foot one, not an 11-foot one. They know where the 11-foot one is, or the 8-foot. The big one, it's in the Smithsonian. I think it's 11 feet, actually. Sure. Strange ending with Tendi. Wonder where it will go next. She'll be back probably in the first episode of season 5. I'm not too concerned about that kind of thing. Terrible ending to a fantastic idea. A new Alpha Quadrant power, Nova Fleet, which should have also been headed by Locarno, Aceto Jaxa, and Thomas Riker, building new Trek lore on old Trek lore. Yeah, that would have been cool to have Thomas Riker and Cito come back. Eric Martin. So I'm not sure what I'm missing, but where did Locarno, who should be schlepping burgers, get a ship so advanced to abduct all these people? Not really explained where he got the technology, but he did. So that's all that matters, honestly. Boimler pulled a Rogue One with the Orion destroyer. Yeah, absolutely. Tedward, that little guy, gets it. He does. He's a smart little cracker, this one. Black Dragon says, I love that the season finale had the Wrath of Khan vibes. Yes. Excellent music in this episode, and a lot of the shots from Wrath of Khan were very faithfully duplicated and very nice to see again, honestly. And that music just really added to it. So they're doing a lot of things right over there at Lower Decks. It's not Salacious Crumb, Don. It's Tedward. Peter Lukaku, I know he called you Salacious Crumb. You're not Salacious Crumb. Yeah, I know. Peter Lukaku, $10. The ending made it seem like a series finale. Not really. Not at all, honestly. I was waiting for an after credits scene, though, especially with the way they ended with the warp, like the warp effect. I thought there was going to be some kind of, hook for next season, kind of like they did with last season, and there was just nothing, so. Yeah, I wasted my time watching it, I know. I do really await the seemingly 20 new videos on all the Orion ships. Oh yeah, there's going to be videos coming, don't you worry. Sidewire, it would have been more interesting if Nick stole that Steamrunner class ship as a gift for Mariner, where it could have been revealed that it was the same ship that she served under in the Dominion War. Things like that would have been nice to add, yeah, but, they're strapped for time somewhat, so. Kyle Swinderman, acting Captain Brad was cool. Jack Quaid definitely would make a good captain in the future. Yeah, I would say so. I agree. Matthew DeFreitas, I just saw the 11-foot model at the Smithsonian last week. Yeah, I got to go see that one at the Smithsonian. You want to come with me? He's not really a Trek fan, this guy. Hey, Ers. Captain Corky, the musical score was the shit. By the way, love your little friend. Thank you. See, people like you. Pumpkin Spice. So what was the next Trek series? What is the next Trek series coming out? It'll be Discovery. Season 5. John Walker, why does this work? Watching them Mark Twaining again. I thought that was incredibly stupid, but it made me laugh. Eric Martin, I liked the look that he gave Tom. I like the he does the look like Tom Paris gag. Oh yeah. He looks like Tom Paris. I don't see it. They're identical. They have the same face. I don't see it. That was good. Um, BJ said Steamrunner class was only great in Starfleet Armada because it was a heavy, long distance artillery. Love massing them around and firing on the Borg and Cardassians. Yeah, they had the long range bombs, things, photonic charges, whatever the hell they were called, antimatter mines, whatever. Chris Bruce, he didn't abduct anyone. He just got the crew to mutiny and lower their shields and TP the commanders out. Yes, that's exactly what he did. Cal Swinderman, Locarno built the tech somehow. I assumed he had a bunch of black market tech. Love the Wrath of Khan music and shots in this episode as well. Really nice nods overall. Yeah. Captain Corky, I love the banter about how he looks like Tom Paris. Yeah. Urs says, can't wait for seasons 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Cal Swinderman, was cool to see vintage TNG warps starting effect at the end too. Yes, those warp effects are the way it should be, and yeah, absolutely love them. Don says, oh, and season 4 of CW's Superman and Lois to be the final one. I have mixed feelings about that breaking news story, to be honest. Yeah, it is what it is. BJ, Locarno was a private pilot for hire. Maybe he made a lot of money during the Dominion War and stumbled over some new tech along the way. His charisma could also win him collaborations as seen in show. Don says, speaking of CW, which we're not, beginning on New Year of 2024, Cons TV will be Seattle's new permanent home for CW after 17 years as a Universal affiliate. Well, there you go. Fleetpaw, $2. Never fear, Fleetpaw is here. Fucking great episode. He swore. I know. Fleetpaw, don't do that around Tedward. He doesn't like swearing. Isn't that right, Tedward? Chill out. Relax. Joseph Barbato, whatever happened to that season 2 interview with Mike McMahon? Is that still being edited? No, all of our interviews with Mike McMahon are out. Pumpkin Spice, Superman and Lois is awful. They should have revived Smallville. Okay. John Walker, it was weird seeing young Wesley with older Will's voice. Didn't really sound like him to me. He sounded way more like Will Wheaton than Robert Duncan McNeil did. He didn't sound at all like Paris or Locarno. So Peter Lukaku, $2. I have parasite meds that can get rid of that. He wants to get rid of you. I know, right? Okay, relax. Maybe I should sit you over with baby Grogu over there. The Colonel ship wasn't more advanced. He just had an inside agent in all his encounters, yes. Phoenix Gundam, it is way weirder hearing Cito's older voice. Good lord. Pumpkin Spice, the CW 0.0 in the ratings since canceling DC Comics first and the cool Kung Fu. Fleetpaw, $2. Where did Salacious Crumb come from? This is not Salacious Crumb. For the love of fucking Christ, does no one listen? I'm sorry I sweared. I'm sorry. Don't hit me again. This is not Salacious Crumb. This is Tedward, and I picked him up at Galaxy's Edge. Mark Lawrence, $5. Love the episode. Definitely bumped up my rating for episode 9. California class tractor beam power for the win. Good to see you, Mark. Say hello to Mark Lawrence. Don't laugh at him. Say hi. You really don't listen, do you? That's fine. Verpine, watch out. You have a Kawakan monkey lizard on your shoulder. What? No, I don't. Fleetpaw, Turbo Lips in the Pylons with Mike McMahon. Fleetpaw Swiftback, why is it called the Cerritos with Mike McMahon? Thank you for sharing all those season 2. Are those season 2 interviews? Because those sound like season 1 interviews. Anyway. John Walker, gotta go, Cap. Live logs and proper. Feed Tedward a treat for me. Want a treat? I mean, you liked all the kids coming the other night with Halloween. It was kind of a freaky night. The dogs and Tedward were kind of freaking out. But the kids loved Tedward. He was hanging out on my shoulder. So, Fleetpaw, where are the shuttle bays in the Cerritos with Mike McMahon? Yeah, we broke up the interview into smaller chunks. So, I want to take Tedward off my shoulder now, just because he's a pain in the ass. Tedward. Say goodbye to the fine people. Alright, I'm going to get rid of Tedward for you guys. Because Tedward is not only a pain in the ass, but he's a pain on the shoulder. Tedward, you go sit over here. Sit down. There you go. All right. Sorry about that. I'm back. Peter the Caco, $5. Thank you so much, Peter. I can't take the Tendy leaving seriously because it's not a serious show. I'm sure she will find herself back. Oh yeah, she'll be back. And it is. Why do these people say it's not a serious show? This was a serious episode. There's very little funny things in this episode. I hate that. Like, it's the cartoon. We can't take it seriously. You can, though, because when the plot calls for it, these guys do serious really well. And it works. So, I don't understand that mentality. But that's okay. Text Trek, hey, howdy, Cap. We missed you last week. No, you didn't. Don't lie to me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, me and Sylvia were in LA. The trip of the video, the away mission vlog, as it were, is going to be next Wednesday on the Captain Foley personal channel. So if you're not subscribed to the Captain Foley personal channel, why not go do so right now and check out the trip. It was fun. Me and Sylvia had a great time. Got to see Doug Drexler and Aaron Waltke and Matt Boardman, and we went to Disney, we went to Universal, we went to Vasquez Rocks, we went to the Griffith Observatory. We did a lot of shit, and it was really fun. It was a good time. It's a good video. Check it out. Let's see. Fleetpaw, and to be fair, I just got here, so I didn't realize that was Tedward and not Salacious. I apologize for mistaking them. No problem. Salacious Crumb is much larger, and yeah. This goes to show you weren't around on our Halloween one, because Tedward made an appearance there. But yeah, I thought the name Tedward would be appropriate. It's kind of like Bradward in a way, but it's a good name. It's a good name. It's better than Salacious Crumb, in my opinion. But anyway. Fleetpaw shared Captain Foley's personal channel. Thank you, Fleetpaw. Sorry I had to drive in New York today. That sounds awful. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody, in a car or a bus. So, glad you made it out safe. Slimy yet satisfying. So no, there is a lot of great stuff in this episode. Just the epic music was this season's cinematic movie type episode. Just for that kind of feel. The ripping off Wrath of Khan shots from the Mutara Nebula, the Captain's yacht. There was a lot of really great stuff in here with fantastic music. I'm sure Don is gonna speak about the music, but it was really well done. It was really a great combination of like Wrath of Khan and some newer stuff, and it was just so well done. It was so good. I had a really good time in watching this episode, and this is probably the best of the season, hands down, as far as an episode goes. So it'll be interesting to see how we score it and stuff tomorrow when we do our live breakdown and reaction, or review, sorry. So check us out tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. in the UK, because they set their clocks back already. We don't do ours till Sunday. So there you go. Anyway. Let's see. Fleetpaw says it was, LOL. At least in the bus, people get the fuck out of my way. Yeah, I suppose so. Eric Martin, though, throws in $5. Thank you so much. Tedward reminds me of toys I would get for Christmas, and after half an hour, Dad would throw it out the front door into the snow for some quiet. Your father actually threw your toys into the snow? I'm so sorry for you. As a father myself, I would usually just tell the kids to go to their room and do that, especially if it made noise like that. Or conveniently take the batteries out of it at some point when they weren't looking. But, you know, would never throw somebody's toy into the snow. That's awful. I'm sorry you had a bad childhood, sir. This makes me sad. But back to the episode. I think Mariner, she is going to be finally on point now. She's come to that realization that she's been a bit of an idiot. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that I would argue in a court of law that Miglamo won that fight. Just because Ba'eth fell on him, she was the one that became incapacitated. Yes, he did as well, because she fell on him. But I would argue in a court of law that Miglamo, in fact, won that fight. That's probably how Tendy's going to come back. It's going to start. You're going to think it's going to be like a 2 or 3 episode thing with no Tendy next year. No, it's going to be right away in the Orion Court of Appeal that he, in fact, won that fight. So, because he did. Knocked her the fuck out. And as a result, she just happened to fall on him. So, just for the record, that's my opinion. That's my hill that I'm going to die on. There's no way you can call that a victory for Beth. Beth is her name. What the hell? Fleetpaw says, my guilty pleasure ship Steamrunner class. I was happy to see her get some love. I didn't notice that the Steamrunners... Did the Steamrunner have a name? I don't know. We'll have to take a closer look at that. I don't think so. It might have. When it first launched, you kind of got a shot of it, like, do that. So you might see something there, but I don't know. Kyle Swinderman, I hope Mariner is going to be on point from now on. Yes. Richard Johnson, amazing episode, and I'm calling it now. Either V'ger or Doomsday Machine or the Fesarius in the opening credits battle next season. Yeah, those are all good calls. Moochie, I would consider it a draw. I wouldn't. Cal Swinderman, either Tendy comes back immediately or the Vulcan takes her place for a bit. Can't remember her name. Her name is T'Lyn. The Steamrunner has a name when it launched, but I didn't catch it. Yeah. So yeah, and I love the transferring of codes of the ship. It's like an iPad with a fingerprint scanner and then a little lock icon. That was really neat. The Orion stuff didn't really work for me, though, necessarily. I did like the solution of getting through the Trinar force field, which was, smashing the ship into it. That was pretty great, actually. Now, the one problem I gotta praise them a bit. For the Wrath of Khan, like the Genesis explosion, I absolutely love that. The thing I really liked about it is they added to it. You notice at the end, of course, you had the rings, the shockwave, right? Other than that, the explosion was very, very similar. But what it did was it sucked all the nebula, all the gas, the ion storm in this case, sucked it all in, and then used that to form a planet. The same thing happened in Wrath of Khan. The Reliant exploded, and the nebula just faded away. They didn't add the sucking everything into the center of the explosion, and I wish they would have. So I'm glad they added that in Lower Decks. That was a nice piece of work. But the problem I have with the Genesis device in the Wrath of Khan, as well as this, is I don't know what you guys know about, planets and planetary bodies and, all that kind of stuff, but there's something called the Goldilocks zone, which is a certain distance from a star or a sun, same thing, a sun that is, it's the Goldilocks zone. It's the just right part where a planet can sit there and, have the right temperature and climate for life, right? I don't think the Mutara Nebula was close enough to a sun to form the Genesis planet and have it still be viable as a planet, because it would be too far away from any kind of sun. This one, arguably the same. She was heading for another planet in the system, didn't make it there. Who knows where this was formed in the system? And also, for the record, I really wish they would have called the planet Nova Planet, Terra Nova. I don't know. I'm sure would have been a Nova reference there. I mean, maybe the colony they put there can be called Nova Colony. That might be kind of fun. But anyway. So yeah, I take a little bit of an issue with the Genesis device for that. Now, in Picard Season 3, we did see the Genesis 2 device in the Section 31, in their custody. It'd be cool if the Genesis 2 device didn't only make a planet, but also made a sun and a planet, so that you could actually have a sun that's the proper distance away. I know that's asking a lot more for the device to do, to create a sun as well as a Class M planet, but honestly, there's a lot of empty space out there. There's a lot of space between space where you could just throw a star, a sun, and then have at least one planet, maybe two, orbiting it, that are in the Goldilocks zone, that are Class M. If you're going to take the Genesis device to the next level, that's how you do it. So I would love that if the Genesis 2 device ever gets used, that it is actually a solar system creation device. That would be epic. That would be absolutely epic. Just saying. Did you ask Waltke if what he thought of his competitor Lower Decks? I did. He loves Lower Decks. Thinks it's fantastic. Sergeant Montgomery says the USS Passero. It means bird. That was the name of the steamrunner class. Toyota Tacoma trial episode entirely focused on the legal minutia of barter by combat. I don't want the whole trial episode, no. Eric Martin. So who is the keeper of Locarno's Katra when he gets regenerated next season? That won't happen because the planet's stable. It's not aging at an accelerated rate like the prototype Genesis planet. Fleetpaw says, you know what smashing the ship through the field was a ripoff of? The Klingon Cleave ship from Disco. Mike and company did it better, I think. I don't think it was ripping off the Clive ship. It's ripping off so many other things that the same thing has happened. But yeah. Cal Swinderman, I felt this episode would have been better as a two-parter or longer episode. Some of it felt rushed to me. It didn't to me. I felt it was just perfect. It had the perfect pacing, in my opinion. It was a two-parter. Part one was last week, but not much happened in part one. You should have just sparsed it out a bit more to put some of what happened in this episode in part one, because part one, by comparison, is very boring and a very pale episode in comparison to this one. It's a shame to almost call them a two-parter. So yeah, has my score gone up for the last one? Maybe a tad, just based on this episode, but I still don't think it was a good enough episode to justify any more of a score, really. This one was phenomenal. This was great, but it didn't make part one much better, in my opinion. Verpine says the arena fight was at least a draw. It wasn't a draw, though. Miglimo knocked her ass out, essentially, with his down, if you will. It's not like they both... I don't think it was a draw. I see what you're saying, but I don't agree with you. The Steam Runner was named Pasario after a visual effects artist. That's Gagarin with the same name. There's a Gagarin with the same name in Season 3. Oh, nice. BJ says, does the Genesis device make a new star too? No, it doesn't. Eric Martin, I think the Mutant Nebula had a baby star in it, just saying. I don't really give a shit. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. No. Joseph Meditz, the Steam Runner's name was the USS Passero. Nick T, hiding in the ice field, much like Titan AE, where they also create a new planet. Hilarious that you mentioned that, because Sam also mentioned that in our edited review, which will be out tomorrow, that yes, it's very similar to Titan AE with the ice. Kyle Swinderman, my assumption is the Genesis device terraforms the planet in a way that it can work no matter how close it is to the sun. I mean, it could make the core more intensely hot so it can maintain a temperature, but still you need a sun nearby to have night and day. Like, you couldn't just create it in the middle of nowhere and have it survive. Sure, if it's in a solar system, but if you create it like out near where Jupiter's orbit is, it wouldn't be able to support life. It wouldn't have a bright enough sun to like. Yeah, I don't. It's a stretch. Chris Bruce, the planet was uninhabitable, so outside the zone in the first place. Well, they never terraformed the planet. She was heading to the planet. She didn't make it. She got intercepted by the Romulans right away and had to duck off into the ion storm. So she didn't get anywhere near the uninhabited planet. And just because a planet's uninhabited doesn't mean it's not in the Goldilocks zone. It just means that the right conditions didn't happen there to create life of any kind, plant or otherwise. Doesn't mean it's not in the Goldilocks zone. It just didn't have that whatever. That's why in Star Trek 2, they're carefully looking for a planet that meets the criteria. It has to be, one would assume, in the Goldilocks zone, have no kind of microbial life or anything, just because you don't want to destroy anything that could evolve there eventually. It's a fine line to find a right planet to terraform. This wasn't a planet that got terraformed. This is the same as Wrath of Khan, where it exploded and it used all of the ion storm to create a planet. Those elements, those particles. Same with Wrath of Khan. It destroyed the Mutara Nebula and created a planet out of it. Kyle Swinderman. It is strange. The Starfleet just seems to be like, hey, you guys created a whole new planet and didn't seem like a big deal. I wonder if the new planet will be stable or not, or if it will run into the same issues from Search for Spock. Who knows? As far as they know right now, it is stable. It appears to be stable, as they said. So, who knows? Eric Martin, a Genesis star. Yes, a Genesis star. How can you be deaf with ears like that? Fleet Admiral Levi, the crystal asteroids or whatever seem to be a nod to Titan AE. Yes. Black Dragon, I thought it was funny that the Ferengi placed a paywall. That was hilarious. Yeah, 2 bars of gold pressed platinum, not even 2 strips or anything that were like could easily fit inside. 2 bars of gold pressed platinum. Nice touch. My thought was initially that you should have to pay to turn the thing on as well. But at the same time, if you're just turning it on and it's a Ferengi using it, it's gonna be blowing up. So you don't want to blow up any gold. But to disarm it, that makes more sense. So no problem with that actually. But that was my initial thought. Fleet Admiral Levi says, I heard that Mariner's ship was named for a designer that worked with Eagle Moss, but I don't know how true that is. True that was. I believe it is true, but could be wrong. Fleet Pod Swiftback, $2. A Ferengi paywall. Motherfuck. Generation production. Okay, so we're talking about Genesis. I was kind of wondering why the planet was unstable and exploded. And does that mean that Genesis was a failed experiment? They used protomatter, which is an extremely unstable substance. So the Genesis planet from Star Trek 3 was basically, it evolved, it was molten, it evolved, it grew life, but it kept evolving at an accelerated rate. It didn't slow down. It's like aging a clone. You have a clone baby, you accelerate its age so that within like a year it's fully grown to like a 30-year-old adult. And then you can slow down the aging process so that from that point on they age correctly. Genesis Planet didn't. It kept aging at an accelerated rate. And as a result, it went through its whole cycle of tectonic shifts and continents moving, which is tectonic shifts, and it destroyed itself, as planets do eventually. So it just went through millions of years of evolution in the space of a very short amount of time. That's what happened to the Genesis planet. It was because protomatter was used. Now, the Ferengis, you would assume, didn't necessarily use protomatter. They might have found a replacement. Protomatter was only used by David Marcus so that he could solve certain problems because he didn't have time to wait. He was impatient. So if it was done correctly, technically the planet likely would be stable and would not accelerate in age. So hope that answered your question. Peter Lukaku, so Locarno isn't dead, he's reborn. No. Cal Swinderman, Locarno was reborn as Tom Paris. Captain Robert April. An ion storm and a gas giant. He never made it to the planet, though. She never made it to the planet. She basically left the ice field. The Romulans went right after her and intercepted her. She didn't make it to the planet she was heading to. So, no, the ion storm and the gas giant did not create this new planet. This was in the middle of nowhere. There was an ion storm. All of that material was sucked in to create the planet. She did not make it to the gas giant or the uninhabitable planet. Cal Swinderman, is there another season of Lower Decks greenlit yet? I don't remember. Yes, they're already working on season 5. They're already writing and... Peter Lukaku, love that they kept true to the seatbelt joysticks. Captain Robert April, the paywall might be a Call of Duty reference, everything needed an in-game purchase. Classic for real, no super chats today. Sorry, Captain. I just spent $350 semi-successfully looking for the last missing piece of the package I want to send for Trekyards 10 years. Ooh. Spent $350 semi-successfully to send us a missing piece of something. That's a lot of money. What are you sending us? Sergeant Montgomery, like Sim, accelerated aging. Yes. Cal Swinderman, using protomatter was David's idea. Like father, like son. Rest in peace, Sim. Cool. Thanks, Cap. No problem. Captain Robert April. And if you want a properly working Genesis device, it'll cost you 2 bars of cold press latinum. Eric Martin, I hope Mariner stays a screw up as it's a key part of the show. I hope she doesn't. It's not a key part of the show, in my opinion. Trigger Nut brings new meaning to there's coffee in that nebula. Cal Swinderman, one nitpick, people seem to be able to control ships by themselves. They bent that a bit with season 3 of Picard, and now the Mariner running the ship alone. I don't have a problem with that. It's just it's an advancement on automation. I mean, in Star Trek 3, it was a big deal because Scotty had to rework things. A chimpanzee and 2 trainees could run her, right? But it makes sense that a ship should be able to be piloted by one person in the event of an emergency. How many times in Voyager, DS9, TNG did we see everybody out, only one person left on the ship, and you got to get the ship out of a sticky situation? Thankfully, we have an android. Thankfully, we have a Vulcan. Thankfully, we have something that is not human, that is not incapacitated to do so. It would make sense to have the ship be able to be controlled by one person giving commands. I like that idea. I have no problem with that. None at all. Classic for real. I didn't quite find all the pieces I'm looking for, and a lot of the money was spent on being distracted. Ooh, shiny. Audio seems choppy. Does it now? Well, nothing I can do about it. Peter the Caco. Who was Wes's voice? Will Wheaton. It was Wes. Smart Smears, I'd say the opposite. A key part of the show is that the Cerritos crew is still really competent, and that includes Mariner. Peter Caco, the TNG comm badges looked rookie. Eric Martin, I wish Locarno said, "Shut up, Wesley." That would have been funny. Fleetpaw, like Janeway controlling Voyager by herself in Year of Hell. Yes, there are certain situations where that could be very handy. There's also certain situations where that's very detrimental. Like if somebody wants to steal the ship and, but still. That's why you have access codes, command codes, and I love that Mariner just knew her mom's command code. And ooh, I knew that would come in handy someday. There's lots I love about this episode, and I don't have very many nitpicks about it. It was just a really fun episode and really well done, in my opinion. Beautifully paced, beautiful. It was beautiful to look at. Lots of ships, which was great. Emulating those shots from Wrath of Khan, and like I said, the music was on point. There's a lot to love in this episode. So yeah, more please. Generation Productions, the EMH. Oh, that's the ECH, the Emergency Command Hologram, but yeah. Terrence Childs, please tell me that they stopped putting families on start ships. I don't know what a start ship is, so I have no problem with families on a starship. I thought that was fucking great, by the way. I love that about the Enterprise D. I thought that's a fantastic idea, but everybody bitches and whines that people have families on the ships. I see no problem with it. But whatever. Classic for real. I came in late. Anybody point out Wes and Mariner went to the academy together? Since Wes, Locarno, and Sito went to the academy together, as Talin would say, logic. Olivia Julius is here with $5. Did you say something similar to when Sam became your first officer? You're my first officer now. Please don't blow up. No. Sergeant Montgomery, love stick and rudder mode. True pilot instinct. Smart Smears, I hope Tendi being away from the ship is more substantial than Boimler. It's a very different show in season 4, so I do expect them to do it differently. Well, there you go. Prince Frog says, as a dude nearing 50, I'd have a hard time sounding 30 years younger too, even if you paid me, lol. I thought they sounded younger. I thought they sounded fine. Again, I don't know why people are complaining about that. They probably did some tweaks to the audio to make them sound a little younger. I didn't think they sounded old at all. So, whatever. All anybody can do is bitch, apparently, so... Fleetpaw Swiftback. Several of them were in their 20s during the episode. That's true. Neil Hammersmith. It was well balanced. Tendi is going to come back. Tendi going to come back a badass in season 5. She already is a badass. Eric Martin. Sito told Picard after first duty she had no friends, so Mariner must have dropped her like a third period French. Yeah, we don't know what happened there. That is a line in the Lower Decks episode of TNG. Basically, after the incident, I was damaged goods. Nobody wanted to talk to me. I had no friends. Could be that Mariner was influenced by something else. I can't see Mariner giving up on her because of that, because it wasn't really her fault. So there must have been something else. Maybe we'll get an explanation for that at some point. I know Mike McMahon has a plan for that. He's had a plan for Mariner since the beginning. And I don't think it's something that he would have overlooked. That one important line. I think that would be covered at some point. I figured it would have been covered this week, but it could be covered next season. Who knows? Kyle Swinderman, the Captain Jack coming back was cool. Interesting change in the design with the struts. Walter Adrian Moyano. I found in a drawer in my house my old Star Trek toy Morn from Deep Space Nine and Worf from Star Trek The Next Generation. Nice. Those must be the Playmate ones. Peter Lukaku, $10. Thank you so much, Peter. So Trekyards has a break for a bit now. What are you guys going to do to fill in the time until Disco Season 5? Well, we'll continue doing our TNG reviews. We have a bunch of concepts, like bridge concept drawings and stuff to cover. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Plus, we might have a new show coming out. I don't want to give you too much information about it, but there's a new shorter format show coming out, hopefully, which we had planned to do years ago and had a lot of the groundwork laid out for, scripts written, visuals done, that never saw the light of day. We were just talking about it the other day, and we're thinking of actually implementing it. And I think it's something you guys will really love. It's more of a Trekyards universe thing, like Fleet Yards. So it's not necessarily just Star Trek, but it'll focus on a lot of sci-fi stuff. And I think you guys will enjoy it. So keep your eyes open. Sean O'Neill, they must have been hungover in this one. The sore throats from roaming the nail. Captain Robert April, the Orion ship at the end was straight out of the animated series. Hell yeah, it was. Tim McCaffrey, took about 3 times till I realized she was calling the Genesis device GD. Yeah. Terrence Childs, I nearly ate 50 chicken wings today. I stopped at 41. Hey, chicken wings are great. Smart Smears, I would argue that maybe Sito just saw her as a fan rather than a close friend. Possibly. Fleetpaw throws in $5. Thank you, Fleetpaw. Bitch, bitch, bitch. Complain, complain, complain. For fuck's sakes, just enjoy the episode, people. Jeez. LOL. That's how I feel sometimes. Kyle Swinderman, a new show. Ooh, yeah, it'll be exciting. Captain Robert April, Sito was a senior when Mariner was a freshman. Sito got knocked back a year, but Mariner would have still been at the academy when Sito was killed. Picard Maneuver says, so awesome to see a steam runner feature so prominently in an episode. What an underrated class. Joseph Barbato says, new fact files? No. No. I want to tell you about it, but I can't. I shouldn't. All I'll say is if you're a fan of sci-fi, which a lot of you probably are because you're here, and if you're a fan of sci-fi weapons in particular, you might be really liking what we're doing. That's all I'll say. Peter Lukaku throws in $5. Again, thank you so much. I just realized that you're a better TIE fighter pilot than a Rebel pilot. Yeah. I was just getting the hang of it. I haven't played that for a year or more, probably. So starting off with the Rebels, I was just kind of getting a feel for back into it. But then, yeah, even the Imperial, I wasn't doing great. I wasn't. Anyway, I was much better last time I played, which was forever ago. Fleetpaw said, guess I'll need to quit missing staff meetings, laughing my ass off. I will look forward to it. Yes. Sergeant Montgomery says, I feel like the last 2 episodes are condensed. Great episodes, but push a lot through. Yep. Trek or not, controversial, but would it make sense to change the channel title to Fleet Yards to reflect a more diverse interest? Don't hurt me, LOL. No, that is an incredibly stupid idea considering Fleet Yards doesn't exist anymore. There is no Fleet Yards. All we have now is Trekyards and Trekyards Universe. JD, mocking Raffi's use of JL. Maybe, yeah. Kyle Swinderman, what theories do you have for next year? I'm hoping some Enterprise nods, like they've done with each season before with the Sign of Voyager this year. I have no idea. That's just too wide open, and knowing Mike, who the fuck knows? So I have no theories at all. No. Sergeant Montgomery says, makes me miss the 2-hour final cliffhangers. Terrence Childs, so they have retired the Galaxy class in exchange for the Sovereign? Where'd you get that from? Eric Martin, Steamroller doesn't have highlighters like my ship. Mark Lawrence, $5. Thank you, Mark. Would you two ever do a live reaction to your very early videos? Would be funny to watch the squirming and cringing. Yeah, absolutely we would. We've considered doing that as well. Just pulling up an old episode of Trekyards and just watching it with you guys, pausing, doing commentary. Yeah. Fleet Paw Swiftback, Steam Runner, Eric Martin. Yeah, it's the Steam Runner, not the Steamroller. Classic for real. If you need any consolation on Nerf blasters for props, that's totally my wheelhouse. No, we do not. Captain Robert April, there may be a few Galaxy-class ships kicking around. Stefano, Trekyards Armory? I mean, you're not far off. You're close. Cal Swinderman, ooh, I'd love to see a breakdown of the phase pistol through the new phasers from a tech angle, and then blaster for Star Wars and the Orville. So many options. Captain Robert April, give me an A-Wing anytime. Fuck the A-Wing. I hate the A-Wing in squadrons, especially when you're not using it. It is an overpowered, very maneuverable, kicks the shit out of everybody. It's not fun. It's not fun when you're on the opposite team. A-Wings are too much. A-Wings are fucking also super ugly. I'm sorry, Robert April, but they're ugly. Give me an X-Wing any day. Give me even a Y-Wing. Y-Wings in the game are really great. They're also overpowered, but you pull the trigger and you got a little and then it starts firing. It's like a Gatling gun. It's like a mini gun. So you pull the trigger and it like zzz, speeds up and then it like fires. So you got somebody in your sights, you pull the trigger and it's like, and meanwhile they're doing this and they're gone. The X-Wings have like, and the A-Wings are great little ships, but I think they're ugly, first of all. And second of all, they're way overpowered in that game. I don't know. But hey, teach their own. Terrence Childs. They should have used the metaphasic cloak on their quantum photon torpedo during the Dominion War. That would have saved so many Federation lives. Okay. Olivia Julius throws in $10. Take this and drink. Let's see how many drinks it takes to get Cap to tell us everything. New format, secrets about Samuel, firing Fleet Paw, who knows? I mean, I've got water. I do have some Kraken rum left. I'll have a swig. Oh, that's good. Thanks, Olivia. Neil Hammersmith. Star Trek could benefit from an anthology series similar to Nimoy's In Search Of. Have it hosted by John Delancey as Q, with the premise of exploring lore, mythos, minor characters, etc. Yeah, that would be great. Hypno Amber has arrived. Hello, Hypno Amber. Welcome. Classic for real. No, we do not. Dang. Trek or not, you guys doing a Christmas special this year? Peter Lukaku. Pay Fleet Paw to do a best of Trekyard's best moments compilation. He's got your library dialed in. Fleet Paw says, I'll answer that question, Olivia. You'll get fired before me. Kyle Swinderman, the A-Wing does kind of suck. Hello. Classic for real. They need to introduce the TIE Defender and Imperial missile boat to counter the A-Wing then. Well, they have the TIE Defender. If you fucking watch the thing, they got TIE Fighter, they got a TIE Defender, they've got a TIE Interceptor, they've got the TIE Bomber. I think there's one more. But yeah. Imagine if they added the E-Wing. Well, they've got the U-Wing. J.R. Ewing. No. the U wing and the B wing and the Y wing and the X wing and the A wing. Y wing handles like a pig. It does a bit, yeah. Fleet Paw says there's one problem, Peter Lukaku. There's thousands of hours of Trekyards and only one Fleet Paw. Who knows dick about video editing? LOL. Kyle Swinderman, Captain, you should have pulled a Haldo maneuver. But last night I did. I smashed into the enemy ship a few times. I can't go to hyperspace though, so. War God 6, I like the Republic Y-Wing. I liked how they did... I like how the Republic Y-Wing. I like how they took the Rebel Y-Wing and added armor, and I like the Resistance A-Wing, and my favorite is Vader's TIE Advanced. Sturm Von Ulk, I miss my Headhunter from Star Wars Galaxies before Sony effed it up. Terrence Childs, Captain Foley, if you had the chance to use the metaphase cloak on your quantum photon torpedo, would you? No. Generation Productions, question. Since the burn and warp having issues, wouldn't using folding warp nacelles a la Voyager be better than the detached nacelles, since the folding warp nacelles propel the ship more efficiently in and out of subspace? No. The detached warp nacelles are 900 years more advanced tech. And even after Voyager, they didn't do the articulated nacelles because they didn't need to. So, no. Peter Lukaku, a compilation is needed for 10th anniversary every time the Cap took his shirt off and rubbed himself. There you go. Toyota Tacoma, I desperately wanted short treks to come back with a greater variety of time periods and more Trek alumni. Felt like VST, whatever that means, felt like a monkey's paw scenario. Oh, very short trek. Yeah, I would love for short treks to come back. It was a great idea, and some of them are pretty good. They need to continue it because I would be on board for it, absolutely. And different time periods, hell yes. Richard Johnson, I just had one issue. How'd they outrun the Genesis wave at Impulse when the Enterprise had to use warp? Well, it's a much smaller Genesis device. They impulsed out and then probably went to warp. It's a good question, though. Classic for real. If the A-Wing is so overpowered, how can the TIE Defender not be then? Because it's just not. I don't know. There's something in that game that the A-Wing is just too. It's not balanced correctly. They might have fixed it since. I didn't try it last night. I didn't try the A-Wing last night, but they might have fixed it since. But it was the go-to ship for everybody because it could outmaneuver and just pummel everybody. War God 6, they added a B-Wing and the TIE Defender. I want TIE Advanced. Yeah, the TIE Advanced in that game would be cool. But I think the point is there's only one of those, and that's Vader's. Classic for real. I second liking the Republic full-body Y-Wing. It's very graceful and Art Deco. Resistance A-Wing is just a copy-paste, like literally everything sequel-related. Anything sequel-related. Captain Robert April, the Y-Wing is a fighter bomber, and it's fun in that role, but it's not something I'd want to try in a dogfight in. Try to dogfight it. I was trying it last night, and it's clunky. When you hit somebody, like, it has missiles that lock on. So you got somebody, you line them up, you get them locked on, and you fire like 3 missiles, they're gone. So you can take people out pretty good. But you gotta, as for using the gun, that's a different issue. War God 6, sorry the typos. The new iOS update really messes up typing. Gotcha. Walter Adrian Moyano. I have Star Trek alternate badge, Future Con badge with pin costume cosplay Starfleet badge from the alternate future timeline. Worn by Admiral Janeway, Captain Kim, and other Starfleet personnel. Nice. Fleet Paw. That would have been easy thing to find then, Peter. I may even be able to find one where Sam stripped too. Generation Productions. Okay, all good. Walter Moyano, cadets from 2404 in the episode End of Voyager Endgame. This distinctive design was first seen on screen and started alternate TNG, all good things, and again. And yes, I'm well aware which one you're talking about. Sam has one, I have one, don't worry. Several additional time travel episodes, including the Big Voyager episode 5. Nice. Friggin' Calypso made me upset about short treks. Calypso was fucking great. It was the best one out of all of them. Can they tie it into to Discovery? Yes, they can. Are they going to? No. Olivia Julius, $2. Discount Genius device. Discount results. Discount Genius device. Discount results. Are you calling yourself a discount genius, Olivia? Terrence Childs. I'm an X-Wing man all the way. X-Wings now, X-Wings for every day. Forever, I think you mean. Sergeant Montgomery Mako back on Trek, wink. Fleet Pa Swiftback. Regarding escape at Impulse, Enterprise was running on basically auxiliary power, so Impulse was probably not fully functional. The Captain Jot from Cerritos was undulated and had full power. Was undulated. Yes, he is right though. The Enterprise was pretty disabled. Fleet Pa Swiftback, therefore able to outrun the wave at full impulse. There you go. Captain Robert April. Full disclosure, my experience with the A-Wing is that with the old X-Wing game from the Dark Ages, aka the 90s. I was there. I played that game. I had that game. Don't worry. You're not that old. Kyle Swinderman, I wonder where the captain's yacht is help on the Cerritos. It didn't look like it in its normal spot. We see inside the bay that houses the captain's yacht in season 1 or 2. There is they're hanging out in the bay. You see the captain's yacht. It's not like attached to the bottom like it is on the Enterprise. It's actually in a bay. So classic for real. Discount Genesis device is what Olivia means. Oh, I know that's what she meant, but that's not what she typed. And spelling, it's important, man. I want to emphasize how important it is to people, especially people like me with dyslexia that have to read these things. Sometimes it's very detrimental. Sometimes I know exactly what you mean, but I'm going to read it like you wrote it so you can realize how stupid it sounds to people when you spell wrong. I'm sorry. It's a pet peeve of mine. I'm well aware she meant Genesis device. Terrence Childs. Will Riker was supposed to be awarded the Sovereign class starship. Fleet Admiral Levi. If they do make Legacy, we may see another Genesis device because of that Section 31 funny business. Yeah, maybe. I don't think so. I don't think they'll pull out another Genesis device. I know there was one, the Genesis 2 device, or Genesis Device 2, whatever it was called. But that was just a Easter egg thing. Olivia Julius, $2. Discount Genius devices. Discount results. Discount Genius devices. Not just the Genius device, but a Genius's devices. Or device. Oh my god. Genesis? How are you so deaf with ears like that? Anyway, Callus Winderman. All these typos, lol. We all must be drinking shots. Don, I got 2 Star Trek Starfleet Delta badges, the Generation 1 and the Discovery Enterprise Command 1. Nice. Melted Copper. Hey guys, I am heavy dreaming and hoping to die as always. How are you guys? You're heavy dreaming. You mean heavy drinking? And hoping to die. Get some help, man. Thank you for joining us, but please don't say things like that. It's pretty serious shit. Don't do that. Kyle Swinderman. Ah, cool. I didn't remember seeing any today. Captain Robert April. They probably got the captain's yacht on sale from a selfish sovereign class. Maybe. Classic for Real says, I have to admit, but as someone whose day job is teaching English, your spelling policy is something I can get behind. Behind. Sorry. Something I can get behind. Kyle Swinderman. Oh, I hate spelling errors too, but iOS seems to hate me with the update these days. You also got to remember. Well, I'm just going to leave it at that. Peter Caco, are you going to release videos of your trip to LA? Did you not? Were you not here for the beginning? I've said this a few times now in different lives. Yes. The entire trip video, like I said, we went to Universal, Disneyland, Galaxy's Edge, Vasquez Rocks, the Griffith Observatory. We saw Aaron Waltke. We saw Doug Drexler. We saw Matt Boardman. We had a full trip. The full trip video is coming out on the Captain Foley personal channel a week from yesterday. So next Wednesday is when it's coming out. So check it out. It's a great video. It's 2 hours long, but it's worth it, I think. And if you don't want to watch it all, I'll have it segmented and indexed into chapters, so you can just skip to what you want. But I am going to be releasing shorter videos of each thing. Like a video just Galaxy's Edge. Also a video just Rise of Resistance, because that's a fantastic ride, and it was great footage. So just a video of Vasquez Rocks with me and Sylvia and Matt Boardman at Vasquez Rocks. Like there'll be shorter broken up videos from the larger one at a future date, but the main one will be out next Wednesday. So yeah, stay tuned for that on the Captain Foley personal channel. Melted Copper. Don't write things if you're unable to spell or no grammar. Fleek Admiral Levi. Yeah, I hope not. I appreciate the Easter eggs, but Genesis 2 and Kirk's body opens up for some disturbing possibilities, in my opinion. They absolutely do. However, it's already been said that they were just throwing a lot of fun stuff in there. Like, there's a lot of stuff there that is kind of silly. It's just background stuff. You weren't even really supposed to see half of it, but yeah. But it opens up a lot of story potential for the future, even for novels and stuff, and that's cool. Robert April says, spell check is a harsh mistress. Yes. Olivia, $2. I drove 659 miles today. Whew. A little tired. That's all right. That's all right. Get some rest. Fleet Paw throws in $5. $5. Geniuses? Yes, geniuses. How can you be stupid with an IQ that high? Geniuses allowed are not. Smartness is forbidden. I'm hearting that super chat. That's a great one. That's a great one. Captain Robert April, which is why I am now switching to my computer. Okay. Peter Lecaco, I'm sorry to hear that melted copper. If you are in a rough place, find someone you trust to talk to. Yes, absolutely. If you're feeling that bad, reach out to somebody. Even if it's just talking to us here. Come on, join in. Captain Robert April, did you catch the news about the 3-footer resurfacing on eBay? Absolutely. I was following that since second one. And apparently it's been taken down off of eBay now, and Rod Roddenberry and somebody else are approaching the guy to see about working out a deal. So, yes. Kyle Swinderman, I want Zombie Kirk running around the Cerritos. Damn the implications. Zombie Kirk. Does he eat brains, or does he eat something else? Was a ladies' man, you know. That's all I'm going to say about that. Captain Robert April. So now, any typos will be genuine. Generation Productions, Trekyards. Captain, would it be cool if they could clone Kirk, Spock, and Picard? No. Why would you want to clone them? Makes no sense. Melted Copper. So if Rey is Emperor's granddaughter and she steals the Skywalker name, doesn't that mean evil wins in Star Wars? I mean, That's true from a certain point of view. A certain point of view? Maybe. Kyle Swinderman, well, you don't know what zombie Kirk would eat. Hey, I don't have to be a zombie to eat that. So, Trek or not, there are no typos, only Zool. Peter Lukaku, you're right. Picard left some doors open with Easter eggs for a future show. Captain Robert April says, if they follow Shatner's lead, Zombie Kirk will crush your dreams if you say something stupid. I feel like you're referring to something specific, but I don't know what it is. Olivia Julius, $10. Freeman left Boimler in charge. Wouldn't you want Ransom to be on the Cerritos? This is like Picard giving full control of the Enterprise D to random MC lower. Random Mick Random lower deck dude. Doesn't make sense. No, I think there were other people that could have been better or would have made more sense logistically, but story-wise, it's fine to have Boimler in charge. Ransom was on the shuttle with her, I believe. So, I don't know. Childs. During the Dominion War, there were several classes of ships that can attack ground troops, and that they never took advantage of. So many Federation lives lost. Sure. Don says, I honestly thought The Rise of Skywalker was a pretty decent Disney Star Wars movie. I was more in that legendary battle as well. Fleet Admiral Levi, the Shatner novels are sort of bizarre in that Kirk is revived by Romulans or something, and he's super overpowered. It's ridiculous. He's revived by Romulans using Borg nanites. So, yes. I actually love the Shatner books. I think they're great. I'm a fan of Kirk. So those books are exactly what I want out of those stories. I wish they would be put to screen. I think they're great. I love the Shatnerverse stuff. But Shatner didn't write them, despite what he wants you to believe. Judith and Garfield Reeves Stevens wrote them. Shatner just put his name on it. I'm sure he was there, like, dictating what would be said. But you can't tell me he fucking wrote those. I don't believe that for 1 second. Why do you think some folks refer to the last movie as The Rise of Palpatine? Yeah. Kyle Swinderman says, I never read the Shatner novels. Are they any good? Yes. I think they're all really fun to read. If you're a Star Trek fan, they're littered with, some would call it fan service, but I really enjoy them. Ransom was with Freeman. Fleet Power, yes. Picard has left. But Picard has left random lower deckers in charge of the Enterprise before. Damage and DS9's Emissary come to mind. Melted Copper. If Lucas made a special edition and Star Wars is stuck in the past, why not special edition the prequels? Even Throne and Ahsoka can be slid in the background. They'd be like new movies. Yeah, but something to be said with tampering with shit that people have already love and accept. You know, a lot of people love the prequels. People that grew up with them really love them compared to like people that prefer the classic trilogy, right? So to go back and change them just for change's sake, meh. Boimler is a bridge officer now. Makes sense that he'd be in command. Generation Productions. Well, Trekyards, by cloning them, they could bring them back and be younger cast while maintaining they bringing them back as clones. That way, bringing back Kirk and Picard without too much controversy. In theory, it will still be very controversial, and people would hate it. Why cast new people in the roles of these? It's just too much of a hassle. It's unethical too to just clone somebody. Hey, you're dead, but you know what? We're gonna clone. Hey, welcome. You're the new clone of Captain Foley. Please take over where he left off. I don't know. It just seems weird. Shatner is brutal on Twitter. I have thoughts about not only Twitter but Shatner, and to combine the two and have me discuss it is not a great idea. Melted Copper totally is Rise of Palpatine. Yes. Fleet Admiral Levi. The Shatner novels are not great, but an interesting window into what would have happened if he had full control of the franchise. I think they're great. I think they're fun. Classic for real. Ghostwriters never get proper credit. They're not even ghostwriters. They are the writers. But because it's William Shatner, they're like, oh, well, just, you can put your name on it, Mr. Shatner. You had the idea and you gave us one or two notes. And you didn't like that paragraph I wrote, so I rewrote it. Therefore, you're the writer. All hail Shatner. Melted Copper. I felt Rogue was great as its space Titanic. Everyone dying is bold for Disney, and CGI targeting after new generations. Yeah. Rogue One's great. It's a great movie. No problem with it. Peter Kako, are you and Sam doing a Lower Decks retrospective this weekend or next? Not this weekend. Maybe next weekend or the weekend after. I don't know. But yes, we will be doing one at some point very soon. Olivia Julius, $10. And that'll be a drinking one, by the way. Just so you guys all know. Olivia, you can come in and get Samuel hammered again if you want. Anyway, Olivia throws in $10. Now that Halloween is over, we can enjoy my favorite Star Trek Christmas episode. The episode where Voyager crashed on an icy planet because there's snow on the planet makes it a Christmas episode. That would be Timeless, I believe is the name of that episode. But that's as much of a Christmas episode as Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Here it comes. Die Hard's totally a Christmas movie. It's not, though. It just happens at Christmas. I'm sorry. Anyway. Captain Robert April. Lucas wanted Ahsoka killed off. Fleet Admiral Levi. No, he did not write them, but I like them for their fun. So I agree with Captain Foley. I say read them and make up your own mind. Yes, definitely read them. They are absolutely fun read. They're a good what if, an alternate future, if you will. Classic for real. Oh yeah, now that Halloween is over, get yourself some leftover candy on sale. I bet Canadian Tire is trying to clear out candy inventory. Probably, but I would probably go to like Shoppers Drug Mart to get candy instead. It's usually all sold out the morning of the first anyway, so it's probably all gone. Fleepa, there's also snow in March, Olivia, and February. Does that make it a Valentine's and St. Patrick's Day episode as well? Fleet Admiral Levi, I'm not a fan of the sequel Star Wars, but I grew up with the prequels and I have a soft spot for them. Melted Copper, as Lucas would say, it's like poetry, it rhymes. Most love the classics, and he did that. Time repeats. Classic for real, instead of literal biological clones, it'd be more effective to download their consciousness, a la the schizoid man. I mean, yeah, maybe that would be better. A little more ethical, maybe. I don't know. Melted Copper, Shatner is like 100. He can do what he wants, and we should appreciate he is still here. Sure. Classic for real. Also, you literally just described what a ghostwriter is. Someone who writes the actual book, but some celebrities like Shatner take all the credit. Yes. I'm well aware what a ghostwriter is, but yeah. Anyway, his name is like William Shatner, by William Shatner. Yeah. Merrifield Reed Stevens. Fleet Admiral Levi, but I did recently listen to Shatner's narrating the Shatnerverse novels recently, and that's pretty good on its own, to be honest. Yes, those are good. The audio versions of those with him doing it are very good. I enjoy them. Generation Productions. So William Shatner didn't write the books, but did the audio version and just okayed the books, yeah? Well, yeah, he sat down with Judith and Garfield received and says, this is what I want my character to do. And they probably said, that's really fucking stupid. Let's do this instead. And he was like, okay, so for doing that, I want this. I want him to meet up with this person, or I want him to say this thing. And then like, okay, they write it, he reads it, he goes, if you change this one thing though, that's what he did. He did. Fleetpaw Swiftback. The only Shatner book I ever read was Ashes of Eden. I don't remember it though, other than Starfleet sold the Enterprise A to some other race. Yes, and it was painted black. Kashink says it was a good finale. It was a fantastic finale. Definitely the best of the season, episode-wise. Best finale for Lower Decks? I don't know. We'd have to take a look. But it was really good. Cal Swinderman, Die Hard 1 and 2 are Christmas movies. Sorry, Captain. Gotta disagree with you there. Don't care. They're not. Absolutely not. Captain Robert April. From the way the Reeve Stevens describe it, the stories are all Shatner. Their role is making sure the canon is right and the grunt work of actually writing the books. Sure. Sergeant Montgomery Mako. GalaxyCon Columbus will have tons of Star Trek royalty and the Shat. See, honest typo, their role. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, says old madam. Hey. Sergeant Montgomery Mako says December 1 to the 3rd. For what? Oh, GalaxyCon. Gotcha. Melted Copper. If they made classic Star Trek recast... Sorry, I'll read it exactly like you wrote it because I just want to make sure I'm not screwing it up. Of they made classic Star Trek recast movie, why not a TNG recast film, and who would you cast? Well, there's been talk about a TNG Kelvinverse or JJ film, and I don't know who I would cast. I hate those questions. Who would you cast for shit? Because I don't know. I'm not good at that. And it's like, what's your favorite thing? It's like, I don't know, because I honestly need a list of everything in front of me, and I need to do pros and cons to actually come up with an actual, good, like, legit favorite. I don't know who I would cast in a TNG remake. No idea. Wouldn't mind seeing one someday in the future, but I don't know who I would personally cast. So, Peter Lacaco, $5. When you picking up Utopia Enterprise? Looking forward to your review. I don't fucking know. It's not this weekend, and it's not next weekend, because the guy I got to pick up from, he's got a lot going on this time of year with his family. Like, they're going to a concert and a whole bunch of other shit. So I got to find a day or a weekend that we can get down there and, like, pick it up. I'm hoping before the end of November. And it sucks because it's time sensitive and it's already way past the time, honestly. But people will probably still hopefully care about my review. But that being said, there's so many reviews and so many videos out about it on YouTube. It's not even funny. It'd be better if I do wait a little while and then after the hype's died down for it, come out with one. So it's not a wash in a sea of other ones, you know? I don't know. Soon is the answer. I just don't know when. Olivia May Julius, $2. Shatner went to space. What did you do? He didn't go to space. He actually went to the stratosphere. He almost went to space. And, yeah. What did I do? I did nothing. I could go to space if I had Shatner's money. But, you know, I don't. So, what kind of snarky comment is that? What did you do? Shatner went to space. What did you do? Shatner going to space, first of all, was a publicity stunt for, what's his nuts? The guy in charge of the program there, Jeff Bezos. I don't even know if Shatner paid for it, to be honest. But regardless, why so snarky? What's going on? Anyway. Nobody Cares says, I was just finishing watching the finale. That steam was badass. Captain Robert April says, ghostwriters generally get no listed credit at all. It's part of the deal. Alan Dean Foster was a ghostwriter for the Star Wars novelization, but the only credit is George Lucas. Oh, well, that's because George Lucas wrote the fucking script, and all Alan Dean Foster did was convert it from a script into a novel. So that's not really writing anything. Not like Shatner had written out pages and pages and pages and pages and pages and pages and pages of treatment. He basically went up to them and said, hey, you know what? I want to do a book. There's my idea. Take notes. That's a different thing. That's a different thing. converting a script into a novelization as opposed to just writing a novel out of nothingness. So it's a little bit different. Classic for real. Anybody read Alan Dean Foster's treatment for the sequel movies? No. Melted Copper. Oh, you guys are talking ghostwriters and not ghost riders. There's a lot of talking of flaming skulls and motorcycles, yeah. BJ says William Shatner did collaborate to write a fan script and then direct the film. What does God need with a starship? Don says, I have enjoyed Vanessa Hudgens as Gabrielle Montez in the High School Music. I don't know who the fuck that is. So why did that come up? What happened? What? Fleet Admiral Levi. I am a writer by night, but to be a Star Trek ghostwriter would be amazing. It would be. Captain Robert April. It's well past the time where the entire Kelvinverse gets tossed in the dumpster. True. But it's fun entertainment. It's like it's so bad it's good kind of thing. It's entertaining to watch. Urs said I would want to see a Foley class on screen, captained by the real. Sergeant Montgomery says, Kelvin, next generation definitely have to be some kind of animation voice acting and AI de-aging. Urs says, we always care when you do the review, Cap. No, you don't. Don't lie to me. Classic for real says, Shatner almost went to space. What did you almost do? I almost did a lot of things. Things I almost did is quite a great list. Captain Robert April says many videos and gobs of bandwidth have been expended on what happened in Star Trek V. Yes. Tex Trek throws in 547. I went to go get a snack and don't want to rewind. How much to super chat to get you to repeat everything after? I would take a Y-wing over an A-wing. Let's see. $2,547. Then I will go back and literally do the entire live all over again. BJ says Shatner went to near space for free on Jeff Bezos' dime. Yeah. Peter Lukaku, did Shatner see how flat Earth was? Captain Robert April, I'm still waiting for Elon Musk to offer Shatner a trip to the ISS. Fleet Pa says if you had Shatner's money or sucked Bezos off, you could go to space. Truth. BJ says, Robert April, I read the book on the making of Star Trek V. Good. I thought Dr. Evil, Jeff Bezos, paid his way. I believe he did. That's what I'm saying. I think it was a publicity stunt. So, Classic for real. Really, really struggling on getting the final pieces in place for the thing I want to send to Trekyards for the 10-year anniversary. What is it? Just fucking tell us. Maybe we can help you. Urs says, see, I knew that we live in a mirror universe with that ISS thing. Nick T, I think we all can wait for your review of the Tommy Enterprise. I'm hoping they will do it. Yay. I'm kind of hoping they do as well. And thank you. Please watch the review when and if it ever comes out. Melted Copper, the X-Men First Class, Professor X did a good job. I think since it worked, he can be my Picard. Trekyards says, do you have Shat's autograph, Cap? And if so, on what? I do, and it's in my Star Trek technical manual. So it's on my technical manual, and I also have an IDW comic thing that was a Fan Expo exclusive. Like it's all the comics combined into one, and he signed that as well. So I have his autograph at least twice. Classic for real. I saw Fleet Admiral Levi talk about being a writer by night, wanting to write Star Trek. I'm also a writer by night, and if you want to write for a franchise, you first establish yourself, and then just ask. I almost did a lot of things. That's the spirit. Olivia Julius, $2. Do they have a release date for Prodigy? No. Season 1 will be coming to Netflix in November. Season 2, early next year, they said. Melted Copper, The Undiscovered Country, I think is my favorite classic Trek film over Wrath of Khan. Even Chubby Scotty beams in for the win. Trekyards says, kind of fitting, it was a cock rocket. Classic for real, I'm not telling, it's a legit surprise, Foley. I have a clear blueprint, it's just a matter of deciding whether to shop locally or buy from Amazon. Well, thank you, I appreciate all the hard work you're putting into it. Do Sam and I both get one, or do we only get one? Do we have to like do timeshare on what? Because we don't like live together. Fleet Pass said I had forgotten the ship looked like a phallus, so I agree it is fitting. Terrence Childs, we need writers like the people who wrote this episode called Drumhead. My God, those were writers. All right. Peter the Caco, $5. Hey crew, anyone check out the new Creator movie? Was it good? A lot of people have told me I need to watch it. I have not watched it yet, but a lot of people have recommended it. Was it good? Let me know. People are recommending it, so therefore I believe it's probably good. Fleet Admiral Levi. Yeah, I just got my degree in English. Exposure is definitely one of my goals. Need to build a fan base for my novels one day. Well, that's awesome. If you write anything, send it along. I'll do a review of it or whatever. You can write my autobiography. Hey. I probably can't pay you that much, but you could write my autobiography. You can ghostwrite it. I'll give you credit. It's true. True story. Sergeant Montgomery says, exciting to see the junior grade in charge of the Cerritos. The Admiral was about to blow some gaskets. Hashtag badass Brad. Fleet Admiral Levi, the creator, the creator, I loved it. But as always, I'm a sucker for big sci-fi movies. Trekyards says, cool. I got him and Mulgrew to sign my giant Canada Post Trek stamp sheet poster of the ships, etc. I've got my tube of the large sheets of the stamps over there. Classic for real. It's going to be sent to you, Foley, because it's way easier to ship to Canada than Great Britain. I approve of this decision. Do I have to send anything to Samuel, or can I just gloat and go, look what we got? I mean, me. Look what I got. Trek or not, those were seriously limited. Glad I got one, thanks to you bringing attention to them. No problem, Trek or not. Glad I could help. Fleet Pass Swiftback throws in $2. Go ahead, mic drop. Bradward Boimler. Kyle Swinderman, ghostwrite it, LOL. Fleet Admiral Levi, credit would be pay enough, Captain. Really? Nobody would read it, so you're not gonna get any exposure or anything. That's funny. But wouldn't you like to learn about my life? So many things have happened. It's been crazy. Yes, it has, puppy. Melted Copper. Between Phil Hartman, Norm Macdonald, Jim Carrey, how do you feel about all the awesome coming out of Canada, and what are your views on Jordan Peterson? I recognize the name Jordan Peterson, but I honestly cannot place a face to that name right now. Canada's got a lot of awesome talent. You know why? Because it's so fucking cold outside half the year that we have nothing better to do than be inside and be goofy and entertain ourselves. So, of course, we got some talented, funny people. Classic for real. I mean, might as well gloat to Sam. Oh, sweet. Thanks. I have permission. Sweet. Kyle Swinderman. Got the Protostar on STO tonight and was fun flying it around in game. Can't wait for next season. Hope it comes soon to the Playmate ship. They have the Protostar in STO? Fuck, I gotta get on STO, man. I haven't played STO in forever. If I did a fleet event, would you guys want to join in? There was one time I did a fleet event and I invited I did bridge invitations for people, so my bridge was like full of other Trekyards fans. Would you guys want to do that? Because we have a Trekyards starbase. We actually have our own starbase and everything. It's really cool. Fleet Palace says, fuck off. I'd read your autobiography. It would be epic. Why you tell me to fuck off? It's not nice. Track or not, crowdfunder to send Cap into space on the cock rocket. Space rocket. Olivia Julius, $10. I'll write your autobiography. I'll write the autobiography of Precious. And as I slowly fell asleep, I watched my human continue to talk to a weird device, renaming it Fleetpaw, Olivia, etc. My human is going slowly crazy. That's fucking funny. Yeah, that is funny. I awoke sometime later to find he was still sitting there, talking to nothing. I fear that my master has gone crazy. I must intervene and lick his feet. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. That's good. I like that. I'm going to heart that super chat, Olivia. That was a fucking epic one. Good job. Cal Swinderman, you could do a video series on your personal channel, Captain Foley's Life, and you can start it off by saying it's been a long road. Well, I just did a Q&A, and yesterday's video was the answers to the questions you guys had left a few weeks ago. So if you haven't watched it, it's on the Captain Foley personal channel. Check it out. And if you have any other questions for me, put them in the comments section of that video, and I'll do another one later. So it's a perpetual question and answer machine. Mark Lawrence, heck yeah, I'm in. For what? What are you in for, sir? Kyle Swinderman, Captain, I take STO super seriously and would join in a heartbeat. Haha. I join your fleet too. Just invite me up. I think I have 600 hours in the game. We have our... what link did you share, Felipa? We have our Star Trek Online Facebook, Trekyards Facebook group. You go on there and you ask. I don't even know if you can do it anymore. We used to have a team over there that took care of requests and added people to the fleet and stuff. But I believe one guy, the one remaining guy that was over there, locked himself out of the account. And there's nothing we can do to get him back on. So, I don't know what to tell you. Trek or not, never mind an autobiography. You and Calkins could do a Trekyards, the manual, or a guide. Captain Robert April, who was a part of the Lower Decks extended family for years via his work at Eagle Moss. We hope his tribute would have made Fabio smile. Is this a question, or I don't know who you're referring to. Cal Swinderman, yes, and in the Q&A, I'm Beetle Boy Levi. Haha. Not sure why my username showed in the comment. I remember answering a question by him, but I don't remember what the question was. By you, not him. You, yeah. Mark Lawrence, heck yeah, I'm in for an STO event for Trekyardians. See if I can arrange something. I'm sure once I fire up STO, it's going to take forever to update because it's been so long since I've played. But that's okay. Sergeant Montgomery says, I'm always on STO PSN. I have a Kelvin Constitution Command Cruiser TX X Experimental. I have a Tier 6 Connie, TOS Original Connie. And a whole bunch of other ships. Who is Captain Foley? Dun dun dun. Melted Copper. Should I make my Snoke appeared in The Mandalorian now, or do you think they will make more stories where the future of outcomes are known? I don't know what you're asking. Should Snoke be in The Mandalorian? Yeah, they need to cover that. They need to cover who Snoke is at some point. Will they make more stories for the future of Countdown? I'm sure they will. Yeah. Fleetpaw. Yeah, that's the link I shared, the Facebook. You asked, Foley answered. That's my video from yesterday. Trek or not, what's the best Star Trek travel guidebook? Travel guide style book. There's the one on Vulcan, and there's the one on Kronos. They're both really good. I don't know if that's what you mean specifically, but Captain Robert April. Apparently, my 2-part post showed up on the wrong order. I only see one part of your post, though. Cal Swinderman, there's a lot of stories to play through, Captain, on STO, and I have way too many ships, but been playing Constitution 3 lately on it. Nice. I hate that it's called the Constitution 3. Just say the fucking Titan, please. It's not a Constitution 3 class. I hate that. Yes, the TOS Enterprise is the Constitution class. No. The refit is not the Constitution 2 class. Should have been the Enterprise class, but they fucked that up. Sure, I'll capitulate and say that the refit is in fact the Constitution 2 class, but there's no way that the Constitution 3 would be so many fucking years later. That's just stupid. That's just nostalgia for the sake of nostalgia. That's Terry Metalis saying, you like the Constitution class, right? You like the refit, right? Well, this is going to be the Constitution 3. You like me now? That's all that was. Fleetpaw says, Klingon for the Galactic Traveler. Fleet Admiral Levi, my STO account on Steam is gathering dust, but I have a Centaur variant called the USS Victoria. Nice. Captain Robert April says, just posted on Twitter, part 1, Bradward at Bradlin LA, 1 hour. Sorry for the spoiler, but seen a lot of love and wanted to clarify. This is the Saber Runner class, USS Passerino, honoring the late Fabio Passerio. Saber Runner. It is different than a steam runner. We have a video coming out about it. Didn't know it was called a Saber Runner, though. Part 2. Who was a part of the Lower Decks extended family for years via his work at Eagle Moss? We hope. Oh, that's who the ship was named after. Gotcha. Cal Swinderman, I bet there's a lot of story content you haven't played through in STO, and they're doing pretty well. Yeah, there's a ton I haven't done. Melted Copper, the outcome isn't known like Andor, not exactly bad, but I'm watching Sentient Beach Sands. Where are the terminal characters going? Sort of undercut hope of drama. Okay. Classic for real. U.S. Enterprise NCC 17-1 Constitution class. Constitution 2 Enterprise Starship class. You have to say it all at once. Cal Swinderman, it's Neo. Is Neo Constitution a better name? Although they have a few portage. Neo Constitution class is a better name, but it's still not a Constitution class. But whatever. Fleetpaw, just like suffixes on ships, you don't need them. You don't need a suffix on ship classes. Just call it a Constitution or an Excelsior and be done with it. Peter Lukaku, $10. Fan Home brought back the Enterprise D build. I'm following World of Wayne's build. Doesn't look like they made any changes to the build. Still looks a redundant build. Yeah, I'm following a few as well. Mark Lawrence, only 1.15 billion ECT for a protostar on the exchange. Well, shit. Captain Robert April, refit was an Enterprise class, a prototype. Every subsequent refit was built very differently and retained the Constitution class designation. Yes, I like you. You know your shit. You grew up with the same shit that I grew up with. Kyle Swinderman, did you do the DS9 missions on STO Cap? They brought back most of the cast for it. No, I did not. Neo sounds more nefarious than 3. Trekyards, wow, I just pulled up the Canada Post vidcap 6 years ago. Damn. Yeah, that was a lot of time. Time flies when you're having fun. I look so different in those videos. My God. Kyle Swinderman, and I paid it. Mark Lawrence, LOL. Shh, don't tell anyone. Sergeant Montgomery, now hear this. Now hear this. The Enterprise class. Captain Robert April, Starfleet Operations was having a bad day when they settled on Neo, Ni 30 Constitution class. Mark Lawrence, I bought a few ships like that on the exchange. LOL. I don't think I've ever bought a ship on the exchange. I got my Constitution. Well, I can't even say that. I'm just gonna shut up. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. All right, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, guys. Hat Manson, I can't believe this is what Star Trek has turned into. Very disappointing. What is this episode of Lower Decks? Lower Decks in general? What are you referring to, sir? Generation Productions, Captain. So technically there are 4 Constitution class ships. 1 Constitution TOS OG, TMP Constitution Refit, Neo Constitution class Star Trek Picard, also ST Star Trek Legacy, and 4 Disco Future no, fuck off with the Disco Constitution class. Forgot about that. Fleet Pa, you don't look that different. A little greener in your old videos. You're more distinguished now, and dare I say, better looking. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. Mm-hmm. You definitely deserve that raise that I'm going to give you. Kyle Swinderman, Cap. I'm game for STO whenever you are. Just let me know, and I'll be there to show off my skills. Haha. I might arrange something soon. I might. Classic for real. Okay, I'm changing plans. Not getting a Polar Lights Disco Constitution for my missing piece. Okay. I'm glad we've started using Disco instead of us. Yeah, I never used that acronym for Discovery. Peter Lukaku, I always find it funny that in Star Trek 6, when Scotty was looking at the blueprints of the Constitution class in the observation lounge, I swear I had those same plans when I bought my model. I got a bunch of blueprints. I need to do videos on them because I got a bunch of old blueprints and silhouette charts, like silhouettes of a bunch of different starships, and they're fucking great. Yeah, in one of the blueprints it talks about what NCC stands for, Navigational Contact Code, which I like. I like that idea. Do I agree with it? I don't know, not really, but better than Naval Construction Contract, in my opinion. Navigational Contact Code, and then the number. That's kind of neat. Anyway. Just looked, almost 900 hours on one of my main tunes alone in STO, LOL. Lots of time that went by. Bye-bye, yeah. Fleet Pa says, Hat Manson, so what? You disapprove that Trek is good? I don't follow. Clarify your position, please. He won't. He came in to just be a troll. Fleet Admiral Levi says, I thought that Lower Decks episode was great, though. I'm looking forward to season 5 and beyond. Yes, this was a fantastic episode. A very great finale in general, and the best episode of this season for sure. Olivia, $5. Stuart, I just got to say that you look amazing, and that goatee looks so amazing. Thank you. Liar. Classic for real. It's a good thing the acronym was DISCO, because otherwise we get everybody reviewing the series demonetized. Sergeant Montgomery says, been up 19 hours. I'm out, y'all. See you later, Sergeant Montgomery. I'm going to be out soon too because we're coming up on 2 hour mark. So, ooh, it's ending night, folks. Navigational contact code. Bring it back. Squadra course $2. Hi all. So sorry, so late. Was working on motorhome. It's all good, man. Welcome. Melted Copper. I love saying Star Trek. It's great to see sometimes burns when I pee. It's great and sometimes burns when I pee. Peter the Caco, Squadron Course for the Snipe, as always. Captain Robert April. I subscribe to a somewhat more complicated and feel more realistic registry system. I'm sure you do. Kyle Swinderman. Like the video, y'all don't forget. Are we sniping? Well, you already did. You got the last super chat slot by the looks of it, so. Sergeant Montgomery says, what about NX navigational experiment? Yeah, NX, that's fine. The Foley class is an NXC. NXC 2174. Which basically stands for New Experimental Cruiser. But Nick T, it be numerical command code? Sure, go with that. Sergeant Montgomery says, okay, I'm out. See you later, sir. Fleet Admiral Levi, my dad told me naval construction contract thing when I was a kid, but yeah, we need something better. It's not really the Navy, right? So yeah, I need to go through all that old stuff and make videos on it because I need to preserve that history of the old stuff before all you young folks came along with your internets and fucked everything up. Back when the technical manual was my Bible. You know? Like, Robert April, he understands. I know he does. And Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise. Fleetpaw says, I have a tribble at my feet trying to chew apart my house shoe. What's on my foot? A house shoe. The fuck is a house shoe? Oh, you're American. You wear your shoes in the house. Yeah, that's fucking weird. Squadron Course, $2. Woot for the ISS Cerebus Discord channel. Thanks. Not just the Discord channel. It's going to be in the new fleet videos. You're going to see your ship fly by. Peter Lukaku. I'm out, Cap. Great live tonight. Thank you to Lower Decks and senior crew tonight. See you on the next live. Kyle Swinderman says, who are you calling young? Young. Who's young? Generation Productions. Wasn't also the Constitution name of an airliner or plane? Just wondering. No, the Constellation. The Constellation is a really cool old plane from the 50s. It has like three or four tail things. But it's the Constellation class. It's not a Constitution. Squadron Course. Do you think that they have training for captains like we got for computer security? Don't set the prefix codes to the NCC number. Maybe. Fleetpaw says house shoe, a slipper. I guess you could call them. Yeah, I call them slippers. So. Fleet Admiral Levi, I still have my Mr. Scott's Guide, the TNG, and DS9 technical manuals. They made me want to be a technical writer. Nice. Olivia throws in $2 and says, I call last super chat. BJ says, I got the old Star Trek tech manual. I think it's close to 30 years old right now. Chain bookstore, I bought it. It's out of business. Nice. Classic for real. I just bought a Lockheed Constellation today when I was looking for and got distracted from buying models for the Trekyards 10 thing I'm doing. Nice. Yeah, the Constellation, the Lockheed Constellation. That's the one you're thinking of, Generation Productions. Fleetpaw, $2. No, me. Mine. Wow, I've been mentioned a lot tonight. BJ throws in $1, trying to get the last super chat slot. Squadron Course, oh no, I have been sniped. Robert April, there have been a few U.S. Navy ships named Constellation. It's true. Kyle Swinderman, $2. You sure about that, Olivia? Generation Production says, okay, cool. I was glad to help Dan. Squadron Course, $1. Fleetpaw, $2. Get out of here with that nonsense, Kyle. Oh, yeah. Snipe Wars. Let the Snipe Wars commence. Classic for real. I don't know if it's if I'm going to actually build the constellation. I got it specifically because I recognized it as rare, just like the Concorde I bought that I mentioned last time. Nice. Constellation's a cool looking plane though. Cal Swinderman, $2. Olivia Julius, $2. I'll get you sometime. I'll get with you sometime for the Julius class video. Yes, we need to do our discussion, and then I need to write a script. Yeah, soon. We'll do that soon. We're gonna have a break now for I don't know how many months, so it's probably a good time to hit us up on that one. So, Cal Swinderman, $2. Fight. Oh my God. I'll let you guys hash it out. Somebody pick to be the last super chat, please. Oh, wait. It's fine. Nothing? Nobody? Kyle? Kyle's got it? Okay. All right. Coming up on the 2 hour mark. I think I'm going to go, guys. And, okay, everybody relax. I said I got to go when all the dogs burnt up. Because they know I'm getting ready to close out the live stream, so they're all panicking. Oh my God. Fleetpaw, $2. Phaser uppercut snipe. Olivia Julius gifted 1 Trekyards membership. So welcome, Trek or not. You're now a member of the channel. And Ensign BJ throws in $1. Thank you. Anyway, so I'll let you guys go, and I'll talk to you soon. Listen, you'll hear the dogs start whining because they know it's time to go downstairs now. Because I'm saying my keywords and closing out a live. You hear Precious? Kyle Swinderman, $2. Ha 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 ha. Generation Productions. Okay, isn't it like the future there? He's in Australia. He's like 15 hours ahead of us. Guess Kyle wins. Looks like he does. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a great night. A fantastic weekend. Check us out tomorrow. We have a review coming out. We have our live at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have, of course, content coming out all weekend and early next week. And here are the dogs going crazy. So, anyway, have yourselves a good night. Thank you, everybody, for watching. You guys are all fantastic. Without you, there would be no me. There would be no us. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys later. Live long and prosper. Olivia, $1. She wins.